Dare I say the Miami Hurricanes defense in 2026 could actually be potentially better than the defense that we just had a chance to look at in 2025? Dare I say that? Would that be considered disrespectful? I don't think so. I do not think so. And I want you to tell me if I'm being disrespectful because I don't think I'm being disrespectful here. I think I'm stating a clear fact that the 2026 Miami Hurricanes defense could actually be better than the one we just had. And I'm going to tell you why right here. And you can agree with me and you can disagree with me. But I'm going to give you a compelling argument, and we're going to find out just if I am right or if I am wrong when the season pops off next year. But this group has every reason to make you be very, very, very excited. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Hurricanes Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I am your host, Rudy Rodriguez Show. Might hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all jumping on board, supporting. We cracked over 14,000 subs. We are on the way to 15,000. Let's get it done in the next 30 days. Appreciate y'all. Share this video. Let everybody know this is the place to come for the excitement, for the passion, for the fun, for everything Hurricanes related. We did a live on the basketball game on Saturday. Didn't go the way we would hope in terms of the game and the fact that Miami lost, but good old time. Thank you for those who jumped on board. We are doing Hurricanes Unfiltered live tonight. Plenty to talk about. And we probably open up the phone lines. Let's see what people got to say. But let's look at this defense. The Miami Hurricanes this past season finished with a top 10 defense in the country, as we all know. Number 6 in scoring, number 15, 14 or 15 in yards. But let me confirm that 1,000%. So fifth in scoring at 14.8 points per game. Only Ohio State, Indiana, Texas Tech, and Toledo had a better scoring defense. And in yards per game, we were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We were 12th overall in yardage and amongst power four teams, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We were eighth amongst power four teams. Rushing defense wise, we were number 6 in the country, number 5 amongst power four teams at 89.3 yards per game. Let's talk about this because this was a defense that was led by the monstrous defensive ends of Ruben Bain Jr. and one Akeem Mezzador, who were awesome this year. I mean, you cannot say enough about the way those guys performed this season. They were absolutely sensational, man. You got to give it to them. They are those dudes, bro. Like, let's just keep it a buck. They're those dudes, and you're not going to have those types of dudes every year. It just isn't real. And you have to appreciate guys like that when you got them. But when you look at the Miami Hurricanes defensively, they do lose some players. They're going to lose Keontae Scott, big loss. They're losing Jacoby Thomas, big loss. And they're losing Ruben Bain, big loss, humongous loss. Akeem Mesler, humongous loss. They're losing David Blade Jr., big loss. And they're losing Raul Aguirre. Popo decided to transfer. He's going to NC State next year. From what I saw, if I'm NC State, who cares? He ain't here. And but Miami has a lot coming back, man. And let's start off on the defensive line. The defensive line has made some moves, people. Like you're sitting here right now and you're looking at a defensive line that's going to have Armando Blunt, a 5-star, coming back. Going to have Marquise Lightfoot, a 5-star D lineman, coming back. Hayden Lowe, who did not play this year due to injury, a 5-star defensive lineman, going to finally get a chance to get on that field. And then you're also going to have Damon Wilson, the second out of is that his name? Damon, is it the second? Yeah, Damon Wilson the second, who we got out of Missouri in the transfer portal. He was a 5-star coming out of high school, and he's been an elite defensive end in college football. And Justin Scott is returning for his junior season. The defensive tackle is a former 5-star defensive line recruit. Miami has not one, not two, not three, not four, but five, five, five-time WCW heavyweight champion of the world, Booker T. Yeah, for those of you who are into wrestling, Booker T was the five-time WCW champion. In the case of the Miami Hurricanes, five 5-star defensive linemen across your line. And that does not include one Ahmad Moten. What? One Ahmad Moten. See, I have a hard time calling Ahmad Moten senior because he's 21. Obviously, he has a child, so that's why he's a senior, but it's hard to call a 21-year-old a senior. So Ahmad Moten Sr., who is the best of the guys they got. Like Ahmad Moten, Moten is a dude that reminds me of Warren Sapp. He wears number 99, 6'3", 325, ridiculous motor, ridiculous strength, playmaker all over the place. I'm telling you right now, folks, you need to watch out next year for Ahmad Moten because Ahmad Moten is going to be on the list for the best defensive lineman in the country. I'm telling you right now, mark it down. That dude, with if as long as he stays healthy, is going to be one of the best defensive linemen in America. He could very well win whatever defensive lineman awards they got out there. He could win them because he's going to be that dude. I'm telling you right now, he is straight up scary good. And I'm telling you, I am excited about Ahmad Moten coming back. Very, very excited. So with those guys, those six right there, you have a defensive line that has the ability to be amazing. I mean, you got to be real about it. You're losing 20 sacks with Ruben Bain Jr. and you're losing it with Akeem Mesdor. You're going to get 10 sacks back with Damon Wilson the second. And Marquise Lightfoot, he's going to be scary across on the edge, man. He's going to be one bad dude across on the edge, man. I'm looking for major step up from him in this particular season going into his sophomore campaign. I mean, what he did this, as a freshman, bro, or a redshirt freshman. I don't even know if it's a freshman or a redshirt freshman, but he did this as a freshman. The dude's going to be a sophomore, man. Like we gotta keep it a buck, man. This dude. Let me make sure before I say anything out of turn. I think he's a freshman. Um, Let me not use that. Okay, it says he's a sophomore. Okay, I'm sorry. He's a sophomore this year. He's gonna be a junior. So going into his junior season, so he was a true freshman in 24. Didn't I guess he didn't have any stats for 24 other than special teams. But this is a guy who was a top 20 player nationally coming out of high school. You expect him to take that big jump forward this season coming up in 2026. So you're gonna have edges that I think are gonna be downright scary. Like no one can replace Ruben Bain Jr. Like that. Like I think what makes Ruben Bain so special is a strength level. Like his pad level is ridiculous. Like his ability to turn the edge. He's such a difficult guy to block, and you gotta put more bodies on him, and so that's big time and what he could do. So, but I'm looking forward to seeing Armando Blunt perform this year. I mean, Armando Blunt this year had 2.5 sacks. The South Florida kid, and you got Justin Scott coming back, who I think is going to be excellent. At the defensive line position, Ahmad Moten had 4.5 sacks from the defensive tackle position. I want you to understand something very, very clearly. 4.5 sacks from a defensive tackle, it's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good. And this is a guy who dealt with some injuries. So you got to think about how if this kid can play a full season, what could he potentially do? Because if you remember, by no means am I saying that he's Warren Sapp. Like, I'm not saying that. Warren Sapp was special. Like, he was special levels of good. And to even be talked about in the same conversation is pretty significant, to be quite frank. But Warren Sapp, at Miami, I think he had a double-digit sack season in college as a defensive tackle. Like, that's utterly ridiculous. Let me find his college stats here. I can't find college stats. That's part of the problem. Yeah, he had 10 and a half sacks in 1994, and that was in a 12 game season. Like that just shows you how disgusting that is. Like he was sixth in a Heisman. But I do think Ahmad Mona has the ability to be a Lombardi Award winner. He has the ability to be any other line award. He could get it. It wouldn't shock me if Ahmad Moten, if he was healthy throughout the entire season, racked up 10 sacks. Especially in a 15, 16 game season. I think he could be that type of guy. And then you look at across the linebacker position. If Mohamed Toure gets another year in college, I mean, obviously we know that he's been in school for quite some time. People may not like it. The guy's been through hell. I'm not the biggest and hugest fan of how college football has turned, but these are the parameters of the game, and he did nothing wrong. He just happens to be an eighth year guy who's a major contributor. Whereas a lot of these guys who have been playing for 7, 8, 9 years, they generally suck. So this is a different type of dude who's going to be playing middle linebacker for you, crushing people. A guy that's going to lay dudes out for you that you don't typically see because most of the time you have a guy like this. I thought Toure would turn pro, and I thought he was a fifth year guy. That's how I didn't know he was this old. I didn't know he'd been around for that long. He's had multiple knee surgeries, major knee injuries. And again, he's playing the game he's been dealt with. If there wasn't NIL, he probably would have turned pro. Like we can be real about that. And then you've got Chase Smith coming back, um, is going to be getting another year of eligibility. He looked really good in parts of the season. I think he's going to get a lot more. He's obviously going to get a lot more playing time with Wesley Basaint moving on. The funny thing is that Wesley Basaint could have had another year. He could have honestly come back. Like this, it's funny that a lot of these dudes could have come back. But I think Basaint obviously is at that point where he's ready to be a pro, and I thank him for his time here at Miami. 4 year dude. I mean, balled out, did a great job. So you got these two linebackers that are returning. Now we will need to figure out who's going to be our backup linebackers. I mean, we need Cam Pruitt to show up this year. Um, and then figure out what else we got at the linebacker position. And then you got the DBs. The DBs. We lose Keontae Scott. We lose Jacoby Thomas, but we bring back everybody else. We bring back everybody else. I mean, I know people gave Ethan O'Connor some shit over that game against Indiana. I wasn't happy with how he got beat on routes that I thought he should have been prepared for. But it doesn't change the fact that he's probably going to be a starter next season. Zachariah Poyser is coming back for his junior year. Bryce Fitzgerald is going to be a starter at safety. Played so many important plays this year. Such a big time dude. I mean, that guy is going to be. He's going to be a star. Like he's on that star trajectory to me, where Bryce Fitzgerald is going to be a dude that you're going to be sitting here like in another year and saying this guy's up for every defensive back award. Seriously now. He's going to be up for every DB award. This guy had 6 interceptions. He had more interceptions than a lot of secondaries in the country. Let me see. I got to check this out real quick because I'm not sure about this because I want to make sure before I say it because I like to be sure before I say certain things. But Bryce Fitzgerald was second in the country in picks. He was tied for second. Jakari Foster had 8 picks out of Louisiana Tech. Then you had John Nestor, Ricardo Jones, Lewis Moore, Jerome Carter, Bryce Fitzgerald all had 6 interceptions. So he's tied for second in the country with 6 picks. This is a guy who was a true freshman. Put it this way. He had 16 tackles. He had 16 tackles. 16 tackles and 6 picks. That should give you an idea of the amount of snaps he got. And he made some of the biggest plays of the year. Period. The play against Texas A&M won us the game. Interception in the end zone against Texas A&M. The guy made plays all year. He had a pick against Florida State, big time pick. Like he was a playmaker galore. Like you gotta tip your cap, man. That dude was absolutely balling. And yeah, so you got Bryce Fitzgerald, you got OJ Frederick coming back. Now OJ Frederick, I have things that I want to see him do better, but he is an aggressive cornerback, and he's going into his junior year. I expect him to be even better next season, this season, whatever, next season. You got Dylan Day, going to be a junior. He's going to be expected to step up. Damari Brown. Can Damari Brown stay healthy? If Damari Brown can stay healthy, he could be that shutdown level cornerback. Like straight up. Like you could turn this into like a real difficult situations. A real difficult situation for opponents if you have Damari Brown and OJ Frederick doing their jobs, because it's going to be tough. So you're talking about right there, the starters are going to look like potentially Zachariah Poyser. I forgot Xavier Lucas. I mean, this kid is a beast. You can see the differences between the first half and the second half of the national championship game. We played completely differently from the first half to the second half when he was on the field. The passes that were there in the first half were not there in the second half, from a large part of it. So when you look, and then Jabari Antoine is going to be going into a sophomore year. So you got Antoine, you got Brown, you got Day, you got Fitzgerald, you got Frederic, you got Lucas, you got O'Connor, you got Poyser. That's 8 defensive backs right now that are going to come back with some good level of experience as starters or high leverage players. Like you cannot take away from what O'Connor dealt with in that game. I mean, the dude is playing in more snaps than he's seen all season. He's in the national championship game. And really, he got beat on some back shoulder throws. And it's tough because you knew that they're running that stuff. But again, you got at least 8 defensive backs right here in this crew that are just coming back. That doesn't include anyone, and I'm forgetting Omar Thornton, who transfers in from Boston College, who's probably going to be that position that Keontae Scott played. So you're going to have all these guys you can mix up where you're not going to have people getting tired, especially when it comes to the safeties and the nickel back and so forth. I'm telling you right now, you have this type of talent coming back, along with with the guys you're bringing in, Thornton primarily, Damon Wilson, and then on top of that, I didn't mention Keanu Davis out of Nebraska, who's coming in, who I think is gonna be. I think he'll play a lot more defensive tackle than he will play defensive end. There's also the dude out of Ohio State they're getting, who I'm sure is going to get reps and get an opportunity. So there's a lot of dudes here, and then you got to think of this one particular point. Corey Heatherman was in his rookie year this past season. This was his rookie year. This is a guy getting used to everything new. He doesn't know anybody. He's coming in here blind, doesn't know what he's got, what he's dealing with, and he produces a top 10 defense in year one. After this team's defense the year before was pretty brutal, to be honest. Pretty brutal. So now you're going to see a Corey Heatherman who's been here. People are now more accustomed to he's running. Um, Now, mind you, he has another defense like he had this year. Next year in 2026, he'll be up for a head coaching job, and we probably won't have him after this fall. And I hope they wait until after the national championship to gas him to come, leave. But uh, he's going to have an opportunity with this group now to really do the things that he wants to do. It's like anything. You get more accustomed to the players you got, and now you know what they do well. And you're learning it as you go on, but now you really know. And I think that's going to be a big, big thing for the defense. So those are my reasons. Now, will it happen? I can't say. I don't know. I mean, if it doesn't, then maybe we do know just how important Ruben Payne was. I mean, because everybody else is virtually the same. Omar Thornton is a version of Jacoby Thomas, wants to decapitate your ass. Like Bryce Fitzgerald is a Keontae Scott type dude. I mean, he's gonna make play after play after play. Like, and he might be that blitzing safety. That I think he could be that blitzing safety, or Omar Thornton, or both of those dudes. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. But I do think there's a great chance that this defense could be better in 2026. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate y'all. And as always, get all your information right here on Hurricanes Unfiltered. Bye bye. Come on now, the podcast. Come on now.